Join our family of creators. Your support means the world to us. Subscribe now to the Content Creator channel. Your support keeps us motivated and helps us bring you fresh, exciting content every week. Hit that subscribe button and be part of our journey. 9 people charged, a rally surrounded, thousands in the park. This is Toronto's anti-immigration showdown, and what it means next. On a crisp autumn Saturday, Christie Pitts Park became a stage for a deeply divisive national conversation. In most cities, a park is a place for quiet walks, children playing on swings, friends gathering on a blanket with snacks. But on this day, the park was transformed into a concentrated point of tension, a physical manifestation of a debate raging across Canada about immigration, identity, and the future of the country. It started with a plan for a small rally, but it quickly ballooned into a city-defining moment where thousands gathered, not in agreement, but in direct and loud opposition to one another. The air was not filled with laughter, but with chants, sirens, and the heavy presence of a city holding its breath. The group at the heart of the confrontation called itself the Canada First Patriot Rally. Their promotional materials circulated online were direct and unambiguous. They called for a halt to what they termed mass immigration and, more pointedly, used the term remigration. This word choice drew sharp criticism from anti-hate organizations and community leaders. They note remigration is used in far-right circles as a sanitized term for ethnic cleansing, forced removal. Organizers planned a 1 p.m. start, but plans were derailed by the scale of opposition. Roughly 100 participants found themselves encircled by hundreds and soon thousands of counter-protesters. The massive turnout neutralized the rally before it could begin. Organizers retreated and tried to regroup elsewhere in the park. The contrast was stark, outnumbered by at least 10-1, and the message was unmistakable. Choosing Christie Pitts was provocative. For many, it felt deliberate. This is a landmark steeped in a painful chapter of city history, the infamous Christie Pitts riot of August 16, 1933. A baseball game ignited a 6-hour brawl when a local gang unfurled a swastika, echoing rising anti-Semitism. Thousands clashed, many were injured. The scar lingered for generations. Because of that history, a nationalist, anti-immigrant rally here felt like desecration to many. The past became a living presence, shaping reactions. The counter-protest was political and commemorative. By gathering en masse, they drew a line, as others did in 1933. What was meant as a show of strength backfired, galvanizing a community to ensure history wouldn't repeat. Christie Pitts remembers, and so does Toronto. With thousands packed into the park and tensions high, police became critical. Their primary objective, maintain order and prevent escalation. Foot, bicycle, and mounted units were deployed. Mounted units carved and held a buffer between opposing crowds. A visible blue line kept clashes at bay, mostly. Sporadic scuffles still broke out as some tried to push through. Eventually, officers moved from crowd control to arrests. 9 people were charged in connection with the Christie Pitts events. Charges included assault with a weapon, causing a disturbance, and assault of a peace officer. Arrests were made among both anti-immigration demonstrators and counter-protesters. Police are reviewing body-worn camera footage, public video, and witness statements for further charges. Protest is protected, but violence has legal consequences. A full-scale riot was averted. Legal proceedings continue. This confrontation began online, weeks before anyone showed up in the park. The rally was heavily promoted across platforms. Logistics were coordinated digitally. Organizer Joe Anijar's online activity connected to broader far-right networks. Media and advocacy reports noted engagement with UK figure Tommy Robinson. The Toronto rally coincided with a London event, an intentional timing signal. Modern extremist movements are transnational, sharing slogans, tactics, even branding. Terms and timing reflect a shared playbook. Social media builds followings and echo chambers, then spills into streets. But the same tools powered a far larger counter-mobilization. Organizers created graphics, shared history, set meeting points, and unified the message. By Saturday, the story had flipped. The rally was overshadowed by a massive, coordinated community response. The thousands at Christie Pitts were not monolithic. They formed a broad coalition, Toronto's civil society in motion. Labor unions arrived organized, linking workers and migrant rights. Community associations framed it as a local safety and inclusivity issue. Unaffiliated residents, students, families, and elders joined. Many cited the park's history as a moral call to show up. The message was clear. Toronto is a city built by immigrants, and hate has no home here. Signs echoed inclusion. A wall of sound celebrated diversity and rejected anti-immigrant ideas. It was affirmative and joyful, performing the multiculturalism being condemned. The narrative flipped to community defense. Extremist views appeared fringe. In effect, the crowd delivered a real-time referendum on city values, and the verdict was decisive. This didn't happen in a vacuum. It unfolded amid an evolving national debate. After years of rising targets, 2025 brought a pivot. Under Prime Minister Mark Carney's minority government, targets moved lower. Housing affordability drove the shift. Canada's real estate is the priciest in the G7. Home prices soared 90% from 2010 to 2022. Perceptions grew that infrastructure couldn't keep pace. Targets lowered to 395,000 with further reductions to 365,000 by 2027. Over 3 million non-permanent residents, about 7.25% of the population. Government aims to reduce that number by roughly 1 million over 3 years. International students and temporary workers are central to the recalibration. Legitimate anxieties, housing, healthcare, costs, can be exploited by extremist rhetoric. The policy challenge: manage growth while ensuring capacity to welcome and support newcomers. Christie shows how Ottawa's policy debates manifest on the ground. Measures like Bill C-2, labeled anti-immigrant by critics, and talk of reductions affect public climate. When discourse spotlights problems without care, extremists can feel emboldened. Yet the tiny rally, versus a vast counter-protest, signals little appetite for hate-fueled solutions. Leaders must address capacity concerns with responsible, fact-based policy, without fueling xenophobia. Takeaway 1. Organized communities can reclaim public space and marginalize extremism. Takeaway 2. Policing these events is a delicate balance. 9 charges underscore real risks. Takeaway 3. Online rhetoric maps to real-world conflict and counter-mobilization. History is a living force in Toronto's civic responses. Ultimately, we need calm, constructive debate, addressing housing, healthcare, and infrastructure head-on. The park is quiet now, but the questions from that Saturday still echo. In Toronto's noise, the key takeaway is clear: reject hate, face facts, and build capacity.